Hey friends, how you doing? I am Christiana Gaudette. I am your Tarot Fairy Godmother. Happy to see you. Thanks for being here today. We are back on our regular schedule, thank goodness. And so it is time for the Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter recap. Did you read the Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter this week? Do you get it in your inbox? If not, the link is right here. Just go there. You can read it. You can subscribe. It comes into your inbox every Wednesday with all kinds of great information. So please do subscribe. So this week's topic, I wanted to call it, so how's that working out for you? But that sounded a little too snarky. So I called it, is it time to pivot? And here's what was on my mind. We all know people who do this. Maybe we've done it ourselves, where you're like, okay, well, this is the way I always do it. And then you're complaining that it's never going well for you. You know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And yet we all do it, and we all know people who do it. And when we read for people, we sometimes find people who do this thing. And so, the question, is it time to pivot? That was our topic. And looking at, there are times when you just got to stay the course. And there are other times when you got to hang it up and do something different. And sometimes you have to hang it up and do something different because what you've been doing really isn't working. Hence, how's that working out for you? And sometimes it's time to pivot because times have changed. And what you were doing was working, but now you have to do something different. And we all resist change, don't we? That's like a human thing. That's why so many tarot cards speak of change, because change happens all the time. And we always resist it. We always resist it. Betty, love your deck unboxing so much. Thank you. And you can see it sitting right there, right there. There it is. Thank you. Man, I did not expect to cry in public over that one. And I've still not really been able to dig into it because it's just like so, man, they got it so good. And I'm going to be interviewing the artist and author for an article for the Cartomancer. So I have like a deadline where I have to kind of get it together and read the book and do what I have to do. And, it's still hard. Jackie, great newsletter, got you thinking. Good. That's what it's there for. Very good. So y'all know what to do. We're asking questions about, is there a situation where you're wondering if you should stay the course or change? Are you looking for where change is necessary? Or are you looking for how you deal with a particular change? It's all about when it's time to pivot, when it's time to let go of. And, it's funny when you're reading for people, you can see sometimes that the path that people are on, the path someone's on, is not their right path, and they're not ready to hear it. And what do you do about that? How do you soften them up to it? How do you open them up to it? It's a really interesting question. So I see your questions coming in. I'm happy to take them and do those readings. I do want to let you know, those of you who are members, I've just put up 2 new members only pre-recorded videos, just short, like 5-minute things. One for all members, one for stars and suns, and I'm going to be doing one for suns only at some point today or tomorrow. So definitely check out the new members only videos if you happen to be a member. If you are a subscriber and you're not a member, think about becoming a member. There are a lot of great perks. All right. And those of you who are local, we do have our tarot meetup in person coming up this Sunday at the Panera in Palm City, 4 p.m. Hope to see you there. And those of you who are in the Tampa Bay area, I will be in the Tampa Bay area this month, February 17th through the 21st. Book your private readings, book your parties, and we will be having a meetup at the Panera in Lutz, 3 p.m. Hope to see you there. All right, let's get to the questions. Pamelas Insight, so nice to see you. What area of my life do I need to pivot in, and how can I change with ease and grace? What a great question. Honestly, I think it's about how you deal with family trauma. ongoing family trauma and expectations, and the damage from that. I think it's stuff that you are working on, but I think that there comes a time where you're just like, yeah, okay, the way I'm managing this isn't working. And so I have to do something different. And I think very often for all of us, that's that realization is, you know what, this isn't working. I have to open myself to something different. And sometimes just by saying that, the universe will come in and take over and there will be a different flow. Chara Saddlemeyer, so nice to see you. Thanks for being a member here. What can I do to find more me time? That would be a great pivot. And the answer is allow yourself a seat at your own table. You worry so much about being fair to everybody else and everyone else that you owe things to. Remember that you owe things to yourself as well. Karen Winkle, nice to see you here. Thanks for being a member here. Where do I need to pivot? I think it has to do with feelings of guilt, that there are places where you feel guilty or you feel responsible, where it's just not your fault and not your responsibility. And if you could pivot away from that, you would be so much happier. Betty Fleischer, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member here. Where in my life do I need to pivot? I think it has to do with your home, your family. I feel like there may be things you're taking responsibilities for within the home and family. It might be time to divide some of that up, or to recognize that we just don't need to do those things anymore, so that you have more time and energy for other things. And just saying hi to Liz Moore and to Smile Soul 20. Nice to see both of you. Jackie Masters, nice to see you. Glad you liked the newsletter. Hey, Kyla, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. Where do you need to pivot? I'm wondering about job stuff for you, actually. If there is a space where you need to change how you're thinking about your work or the work you're doing or what you want to do or what your goals are, I think it's somewhere in there. It may also have to do with your relationship with money or all of the above. Okay. And that was Kyla's. And let me go back to Jackie Masters. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using one of the members only emojis. Where and when in my life do I need to pivot, and how do I start? You start now, and it has to do with work and career. You're another one where it has to do with work, career, relationship with money, and knowing your own value. And you start now. That's not necessarily quitting your job, but changing some of the ways you think about things and the ways you approach things could be very helpful. Liz Moore, should I stay in Tampa or move back to the East Coast? I'm wondering if it's time to come back to the East Coast. I think that's a really interesting question, or at least time to think about coming back to the East Coast. When we look at staying in Tampa, I feel like it's not really resonating for you. But if you're there when I'm there, come see me, February 17th through the 21st. Barbara O'Brien, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Is there a place in my life I need to pivot? I think sometimes you can think yourself into a corner and you need to learn how to pivot your thoughts out of that. Martha Vink, what do I need to do if I don't get the job pivot I'm hoping for? Good question. If you get it, great, and you might. But if you don't get it, you need to be okay, and you need to rededicate yourself to the things you are doing in your life that matter and have meaning to you. And just be ready to do that. Kathy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. And thanks for using the members only emojis. I recognize I've been existing in my safe zone. How do I start to pivot out of that? By opening your heart to the things that you love doing and using those things to motivate you forward. Baby cakes, where do I need to pivot in my life? I think it has to do with family stuff. You know, the family and relationships, friendships that are working for you, more time with them. The ones that aren't working for you, less time with them. Seriously. And no guilt. Oh, Liz, you'll see me in Lutz. Okay, that's fabulous. At our meetup? That would be 3 o'clock Sunday the 20th at the Panera in Lutz, right next to the Raceway. Ooh, Kyla's, that's good. That's a good takeaway. I love that. Okay, from my perspective, I have answered every question here. If I accidentally missed you, I am so sorry. Please do reiterate. If you haven't asked yet, please do ask. Again, the link is right here to subscribe to the newsletter. I'll be back tomorrow at this same time for the Friday weekly wrap up. I'll look forward to seeing you there. Oh, Adriana Belange, my medical treatment isn't working. Any advice from the cards? So yeah, what do we pivot to next? If this isn't working, what do we pivot to next? You know, it may be you need a new doctor. And it may be that it's going to be a bunch of things together, some naturopathic stuff along with some allopathic stuff. Like it's not one thing or another, it's a bunch of different things, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take some trial and error, and it's going to be a while. You're going to have to be patient, and you may need to see like an allopathic doctor and a naturopathic doctor at the same time to try to get it together. Okay. All right. Other questions? Other things you need to know? I want to let you know I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom. You can schedule on the website or you can just reach out to me. And for those of you who have tickets to StarCon tonight, Barrett Ermy and I are going to do a lounge. We're going to discuss the tarot archetypes and how they fit in with the Star Trek universe. And it's going to be some fun, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you have a ticket to StarCon, you can join us there. The links are up everywhere. And I'll look forward to seeing you there. Thank you all so very much for being here. I will look forward to seeing you soon. Be good.